way such that it sings in a nice way. Any saw will sing. It's a matter of applying the technique, and you will get notes out of it. Now, the difference between a regular hardware store saw and the musical saw in that department is that you get a nice, even, consistent tone across the range of notes available on the saw with a nice musical saw. It'll be tougher to get certain pitches on a regular saw, and some will be really quiet while some will be really loud. Very inconsistent tone, but nonetheless, I learned on a hardware store saw, and anyone can play a hardware store saw if they put enough time into it. But I recommend, if you actually take to the saw, to get one online at www.musicalsaw.com, and if I say that every night, nothing happens. I should get a free saw one of these days. But this is a good musical saw. So now what we're going to do with this is we're going to do about 3 things. It's not that complicated. There's about 3 things to hold on to in your head at once when you do it. So you take the blade with the teeth towards you, which is, I know, counterintuitive, but you put it between your legs and you clamp them together and get that saw held in there by the handle. You don't really want any of the saw blade itself touching your legs if possible, but just the handle. And now what we'll do, I'll put my thumb on top of the saw, and it doesn't matter, this is an ambidextrous instrument, you can play it either way, it doesn't really matter. Great thing about the saw. So what I do is put my thumb about 4 inches from the end of the saw, and then I push over till I get the saw basically parallel with the floor, and then I'm going to reach towards the tip, and then I'm going to tip that up just like this. So can everybody see there's just a gentle S-curve in the blade? That's the real key to getting the saw to sing. So once I got the S-curve in it, I can strike it in certain places and it'll sing. Now with less tension I get lower notes. With more tension I get higher notes. Now some people do choose to play the saw with a mallet, but generally people like to play it with a bow. It gets the real true voice out of the saw. So I go for a really low note. Notice how I'm striking with the bow. You found the source. So lower notes strike with the bow closer to the handle. As you're trying to get higher notes, the sweet spot, as we like to say, moves along this flat side of the blade. So when I go for a high note, this one's really going to make me crazy. Not too bad. Okay. I'm striking across the blade much closer to the tip, whereas this low one back down closer to the handle. So my sweet spot moves in a range like here. Now the next thing that you need to know is, besides the bowing technique, which is also a very short kind of a stroke, you want to press in pretty good, get some good friction between the bow and the saw, and then strike it and let it ring. So it has quite a lot of sustain if you manage to catch it on the sweet spot and get a lot of friction on it. So, sorry about it. And then the next thing you need to know is the shaky leg trick. So when I put a little bit of pressure on the ball of my foot, my leg shakes uncontrollably. It's done that ever since I was a kid, and I never thought there'd be any musical application. But as it turns out, that's my vibrato. So when I want it to have that haunting, warbly sound of the opera singer, I can just shake my leg to get that.
He's used to it now.
He's all for it now. So that's all there is to the saw. So I welcome you guys all to come up at the end of the night and try it out. It really does take a couple minutes to get at least a couple notes out of it. It'll take probably a little bit more time to play a song on it, but I'll just give you a little taste. This is a very classic saw tune right here. There you go.
Yeah.